Hello again and welcome. Hello again, and I've messed this up. Gav from White Dalton. Hello.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
Al
Right?
from 44 Teeth. I'm good, thank you.
Good.
In case you hadn't realised, we are not legal experts, which is why we've teamed up with White Dalton Motorcycle Solicitors to bring you free legal advice.
Nice road down there.
Lovely ride.
Yeah.
Road down. It's blue skies. It's got a bit cooler.
Oh yes,
So-
autumn is here. Autumn is here, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, but the bike just sings. You know, when that cooler, denser air, it just got a bit more.
Runs a bit leaner.
Yeah, it's got a bit more to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which actually brings me to the topic of today's video, okay? When you are riding your bike as aggressively as you can because of the nice, cool, dense air, if you get yourself into a spot of bother with the police, what should you do? Okay, that's the topic of today. The police, what happens if you get arrested, or when can they arrest you? And crucially, if you are invited into an interview, how that may go and what you need to be aware of. Okay?
Sorry, officer, it's a bit colder. It was running a bit leaner, and it's going 20 miles an hour faster.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Yeah. It's the weather. yeah.
Have you had that one before?
No, not the weather, but just right. I have had clients get arrested. Okay,
Well, yeah.
sadly.
Yeah.
Now, the first thing to talk about with an arrest is that coppers cannot willy-nilly just go around arresting people. Okay.
Right.
Well, they can, but,
Yeah.
but if they do, you've got a claim for damages against them. Okay,
Right, okay.
So there's really, it's a well-trodden path for us lawyers that an officer must have a need to arrest you and a necessity. Okay,
Right.
so the criteria is set out quite plainly. But I'll give you the example. If you commit an offence, I'm speeding and you get stopped,
Yeah.
and they go, "What's your name and address?" and you go, "Well, I'm not telling you." The officer will go, "Look, well, I need to deal with you for the speeding offence.
Right.
But if you won't tell me your name and address, I've got no option but to arrest you."
So if you're a bit of a dick, they've got to arrest you for that. It's
that
more
reason.
simple. It's more simple than it sounds. Then they need the basics. They need to get on with the job in hand. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So don't give them anything you need. And the minute you go, "Yeah, my name is John Smith and here's my address," they go, "Right, the need for arrest is gone."
Right.
Why? They can deal with you by way of ticket. There you go, sir, and you go on your merry way. Okay. Now, you may have a police interview lined up after an event. So what I mean by that is you're
Right.
not stopped at the scene.
So there's footage. So post incident footage or
That's right, yeah.
Other evidence.
Someone's got a video of you
Yeah.
riding like a lunatic, dangerous, okay? And they go, "Right, you're not stopped at the scene. So the only way they can deal with you is by writing to the DVLA, getting the keeper details for the bike,
Right.
and then writing to you through the post with a notice of intended prosecution, okay? Now, there's no need for an arrest.
A nip.
A nip.
Yeah.
Yeah, a nip. Yeah, notice of intended prosecution. Yeah. Some offences need it, not all do, but you'll find that if you're not stopped at the scene, you'll get this through the post, then you can respond. And if you go, "Yep, it was me, officer, my name is John Smith at this address," they go,
Yeah.
"Right, now we know who you are. We can now deal with the offence itself," okay? And sometimes that involves a voluntary interview, inviting you in for an interview, okay? Now, that's quite different. Imagine if you're involved in something at the roadside. I had the example of death by dangerous.
Yes.
Someone's died, there's been an allegation of dangerous riding. The police may, at the roadside, decide to arrest you, okay? The reason being, they may need to capture evidence there and then. Cameras,
Yes.
Phones.
Phones. Yeah. So you don't do a runner and delete stuff.
Delete stuff. Yeah. I mean, the phones is a brilliant one. Probably less for us bikers, but more for car drivers.
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
distracted.
yeah.
I was using the phone. Well, they'll seize that part of the evidence in the case, and they go, "Right, we haven't let you go with it because if you had, you could have deleted it, and we've lost some evidence." So a real difference there between what can happen at the roadside and what can happen slow time through the postal service. Which brings me to interviews, okay? Now, this is crucial. This is really, really important. In an interview, you will have the option of getting a legal representative in, okay? Absolutely use that option.
That's the buzz. That's our buzz phrase for this whole series we do, isn't it? It's ultimately lawyer up.
Look,
'Cause,
yeah,
I mean, you know, you don't want to be stuck with the what they call the
duty solicitor,
the duty solicitor who's got a GCSE in English and a weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not slating them, but you know, for things like motorcycle specifics, you want a lawyer up there. Do you know any?
Yeah, well, good ones.
Yeah.
I'll try and find you one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, please don't phone me at 11 o'clock on a Friday. You know, like,
It'll be in the pub.
Yeah, I want to get in bed. Yeah. But look, jokes aside, you always should lawyer up, whether you've got your own lawyer on speed dial or whether you don't want to pay for a lawyer and you get one given to you, so a duty solicitor. They won't be solicitors necessarily. There'll be someone that works for a law firm and has probably done an accreditation course. Okay, now
so they're sort of proper GCSEs, like junior spec.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen in my time varying qualities of duty briefs. Okay, you know, or you get yourself an expert in the field. You go, right, I've got so and so on speed dial. If something goes wrong, I need to speak to someone. I'll get them in to represent me. Okay, now why do you do that? The most crucial part of any interview will be disclosure. Okay.
So can you just clarify disclosure? So that is essentially all the evidence laid out.
Pretty much, but not all. So be careful when you use the word all, because
they're sneaky buggers. These coppers, aren't they?
They can be because your solicitor or your duty brief, they should go and speak to the officer before the interview and say, "Give us a disclosure. What have you got?" Okay, because I need to go through it with my client before we have an interview with you. Okay. Some coppers can be a bit sneaky and drip feed the evidence. So what I mean by that is they give you the bare basics
like
of the disclosure.
Like a little bit of bait.
A little bait, there you go. Follow that little crumb trail, get you for an interview, and then go, oh, by the way, we've got all this as well. You know, so your solicitor wants to be pretty forthright and say, right, what have you got? Because if you try and ambush us in the interview, I'll be stopping the interview dead. You know, we're not going to be ambushed in there. So give us what you've got. Let me review it. Let me speak to my client about it. Then we'll let you know when we're ready to come in and have the interview. Okay. Now, if you have an interview, you have got three options, always three options. Okay. In a police interview, whether it's an arrest or you've come in voluntarily, those three options are answer all the questions fully. Okay. Yeah.
If you're innocent, it's fine.
Yeah. Go. Well, no, they'll dig. They'll dig and ask you silly questions. Yeah. Go no comment to absolutely everything. Again.
Which is the really guilty option.
Well,
from an outsider.
I love the layperson's view on that. Yeah, you're like, well, that's what it means. Yeah. Or I blame the media. That's where you get it from. Yeah. Or option 3, which is provide a pre-prepared statement. Okay. Now, every option has its advantages and disadvantages, and the purpose of your lawyer, once I've had disclosure, is to give you the best advice at that moment in time to guide you through the process, okay? Rarely do I find answering all the questions a great option.
See, I told you.
Because, not because they're innocent, but because some of the questions you get out of coppers are just completely irrelevant, you know, to what they're dealing with, you know. I'm being extreme, you know, what colour are your socks? You go, what's that got to do with anything? It doesn't, you know, it doesn't go to the speeding or the dangerous or anything along those lines. So, again, option 2, no comment everything. You'll get some lawyers that love it. The problem that I see with it is that if things are put to you in an interview and you just go no comment to everything, think of the process. The CPS lawyer or the copper at the end of the process is going to go, right, well, there's the allegation. You've got no comment to everything. That's easy. We'll just charge you because you're not given an account. Okay. You know.
Okay, so it can backfire.
It can backfire, yeah. And you know, when you're cautioned, anything you do say in the interview or don't say, but then raise at a later date at court, the court is invited to look at it and really, you know, to take a dim view or go, look, they could have said this in the interview. Why didn't they? Actually, the reason they didn't was because they wanted to get out of the interview, line up their evidence, and then, you know, set forth a version of events at the trial.
Right.
So interviews are so important. And I've had success with pre-prepared statements. You know,
yes.
I think we were talking off camera about a serious one where a biker was up for taking a vehicle without consent. So, TWOC.
That sounds more serious than it actually is, though, isn't it? As in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
As in, if you the twocking, that's like nicking a bike. Actually, when you
get down to what the sentence is,
Yeah.
it's nothing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The other allegation was perverting the course of justice. Now, that is serious.
that's big time, isn't it?
That is big time. That's
Yeah.
I mean, the guidance is life imprisonment for perverting the course of justice. So that particular interview, we spent 3 hours writing a pre-prepared statement. I remember the coppers ready for the interview kept knocking on the door. We're going, get lost. We're busy here.
3 hours doesn't seem that long. I mean, writing a statement
Oh.
of 3 hours.
Yeah.
But 3 hours. It takes me 3 hours to write a few hundred words.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say about that. Yeah. Well, it worked. It worked. So we kept, after that interview, that pre-prepared statement we put together, I mean, the biker was really worried, sort of shaking for many months. But by the time he got to the CPS and he got a charging decision, they just went, yeah, NFA, no further action to all of those allegations. So it goes to show the strength of getting that first interview done properly, because it might just kill it dead, okay? Which was the best outcome for the biker. Also, the biker in that case had genuinely not done it. I thought it was a bit unfair. It was almost like a stitch-up by the police. But he's got to deal with it. It's no defence to go, it's a stitch-up, I'm not guilty. You go, no, you've got to play the game properly. Let's set down our evidence in that pre-prepared statement. When we read out the statement, by the way, we answered no questions because the copper kept firing more questions at him, and he followed my advice and he just sat there and went, no comment to anything else, because I've given you my version in that pre-prepared statement.
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
That's it. Yeah. Don't fall into the trap, because it's human nature, isn't it? When you have a two-way conversation, someone asks you a question, you want to help. And I think in this country, well, I'm not sure now, but historically, we've always wanted to police by consent, and we've always wanted to help the police. I just feel that's...
Times are changing.
Yeah, times are changing, yeah. And I think nowadays people, maybe because the police haven't acted fairly in years gone by, that people are less inclined to say, right, I'll treat you with the same respect. Actually, I'm going to lawyer up and I've not got anything to say, or there's my statement, I've got nothing further to say. And that's the end of it.
I think, Gav, there's one answer for this. Don't get arrested.
That's pretty good advice, actually.
Yeah.
Don't get yourself nicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ride like a twat. Don't get arrested. Yeah.
I fully endorse that advice.
Thanks, Gav.
Good seeing you, Al.
And you, mate. Cheers. Bye-bye.